Subscribe to our channel for more English story. There was a man named Liam who worried a lot about what other people thought of him. Liam was kind and hardworking, and he always tried his best in everything he did. But no matter how much he tried, he felt it was never enough. He always thought that others were better than him. Liam worked in a big office with many people. Every day, he looked around at his coworkers. Some of them were smarter. Some worked faster. Some seemed to always know the right thing to do. Liam often thought, "Why can't I be like them? Why do I always feel like I'm not good enough?" At meetings, Liam didn't share his ideas because he was afraid people would think they were silly. When someone praised his work, he would smile, but inside, he thought, they're just being nice. They don't really mean it. One day, his boss gave him a big project to work on. Liam was nervous but didn't want to say no. He worked long hours, skipping breaks and even staying late at the office. When the project was finished, everyone said it was great. But instead of feeling happy, Liam felt tired and empty. He thought, they liked it, but maybe it was just luck. I still don't think I'm as good as everyone else. Liam's friend Emma noticed how worried he always looked. She decided to talk to him. "Liam, you're so hard on yourself," Emma said gently. "You're always comparing yourself to others. But have you ever stopped to think about what makes you special?" "What do you mean?" Liam asked. Confused, Emma smiled. "You care so much about doing a good job. You're kind to everyone. You always help people when they need it. Those are things that not everyone can do. You don't have to be the fastest or the smartest to be important. Just being yourself is enough." Liam thought about Emma's words for a long time. He started to notice the good things about himself that he had ignored before. He saw how his coworkers came to him for advice, how they smiled when he helped them, and how his boss trusted him with important work. Liam still had moments when he felt unsure, but he learned to stop comparing himself to others. He realized that everyone has their own strengths and struggles, and that's okay. Little by little, he began to believe that he was enough just as he was. From then on, Liam stopped trying to be like everyone else. Instead, he focused on being the best version of himself. And for the first time in a long time, Liam felt proud of who he was. The pressure. One day, Liam's boss gave him a new project. It was big, and Liam was nervous. Liam worked day and night on the project, trying to make it perfect. He spent hours fixing small details, worrying that it wouldn't be good enough. Each time he saw his coworkers making progress, he felt even more anxious. "I'll never be as good as them," he thought. "Maybe I should just give up." Then one afternoon, his coworker Jack noticed how stressed Liam was. Jack walked over to him and said, "Hey, Liam, you look really tired. How's the project going?" Liam sighed. "I don't know. I keep comparing myself to everyone else. They seem so much better at this than I am. I'm afraid I'll fail. Jack smiled gently. You're doing great, Liam. I know you're working hard. But remember, you don't need to be like anyone else. You're you, and that's enough. You have your own strengths, and that's what makes you special. Liam looked at Jack, surprised by his words. But I'm not as good as them. What if I mess up? Jack shook his head. It's okay to make mistakes. It's part of learning. What's important is that you try your best. Not that you're perfect. Liam thought about what Jack said. For the first time, he realized that constantly comparing himself to others wasn't helping him. It was making him feel worse, not better. He decided to stop looking at what everyone else was doing and focus on his own work. The next day, Liam worked with a clearer mind. He still made mistakes, but instead of feeling bad about them, he saw them as chances to improve. He learned to trust himself and his abilities. When the project was finished, Liam felt proud of his work. His boss and coworkers praised him. But more importantly, Liam had learned an important lesson. He didn't have to be like anyone else to be successful. He just had to be himself. And that was enough. The wise neighbor. One evening, Liam was walking home from work when he met his neighbor, Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker was an old man who had lived in the same house for many years. He had always been kind and quiet. You look troubled, Liam. Mr. Parker said. What's on your mind? Liam sighed. I don't feel good enough at work. I see everyone else doing well, and I feel like I'm always behind. Mr. Parker smiled gently. Liam, you're wasting your energy comparing yourself to others. You can never be truly happy if you focus on what others are doing. Instead, focus on yourself and your own progress. The change. As the weeks went by, Liam's confidence grew. He stopped measuring his worth against others and started celebrating his own progress. He learned that comparing himself to others only brought stress and doubt. But focusing on his own growth made him feel proud. One day, his boss noticed the change. Liam, I've seen a real improvement in your work lately, Mr. Parker said with a smile. You've been more focused, and your projects are really coming together. Liam felt a wave of pride. Thank you, Mr. Parker. I've been trying to just do my best, without worrying about what everyone else is doing. Mr. Parker nodded. That's the key. We all have our own path. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll go far. From that moment on, Liam stopped looking at others for validation. He trusted in his own abilities and focused on what he could do. His work became stronger, and his relationships with his coworkers improved. 2. He learned that success wasn't about being better than others. It was about being the best version of yourself. Liam's journey wasn't just about achieving success at work. It was about learning to be at peace with who he was. He understood that everyone's path is different, and that was something to be proud of. The result. When the project was completed, Liam stood back and looked at what he had achieved. For the first time in a long time, he felt a deep sense of pride. Not because he had done it perfectly or better than anyone else, but because he had done his best. His boss called him into the office. Liam, this project turned out excellent. His boss said with a genuine smile. Your dedication and effort really show in the results. Well done. Liam's coworkers also noticed his hard work. Great job, Liam. One of them said. You really gave it your all. And it paid off. But what mattered most to Liam wasn't the praise from his boss or the respect of his coworkers. It was the pride he felt in himself. For the first time, he realized that his worth didn't depend on being the best or impressing others. It came from knowing he had put his heart into his work and stayed true to himself. Liam walked home that evening feeling lighter and happier. He thought about how much he had learned, not just about completing a project, but about life. He understood now that everyone has their own journey. And the most important thing is to keep growing, learning, and believing in yourself. From that day forward, Liam approached his work and life with a new perspective. He no longer worried about being like others. Instead, he focused on being the best version of himself, and that was more than enough. The lesson. Liam's experience taught him a valuable lesson. True happiness comes from within. By focusing on his own journey and growth, he discovered that comparison only holds us back. He realized that everyone has their unique path, and that's what makes life beautiful. Stop comparing yourself to others. Liam thought, I am enough, just as I am. From then on, Liam approached each challenge with confidence and a focus on his own progress. He knew that success wasn't about being better than anyone else. It was about being better than who he was yesterday. Moral. Focus on your own growth and progress rather than comparing yourself to others. Everyone has their unique strengths and weaknesses. And true happiness comes from recognizing your worth and striving to be the best version of yourself. Remember, you are enough just as you are. Let's enrich our vocabulary with some new words. 1. Worried. Definition. Feeling uneasy or anxious about something. Example. Liam was worried about what others thought of him. 2. Coworker. Definition. A person you work with in a job. Example. Liam often compared himself to his coworkers. 3. Nervous. Definition. Feeling anxious or uneasy about something. Example. Liam felt nervous about the big project. 4. Compare. Definition. To examine the similarities and differences between two things. Example. He compared himself to others and felt unhappy. 5. Strength. Definition. A good quality or ability that someone has. Example. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care, and see you next time.